Welcome back to the blue. Oh,
it's not blue sky anymore.
It's not blue sky anymore. We have rebranded.
We've rewritten, ironically.
Yeah,
we've done a rewrite, which is ironic because the new name of this podcast is
No Rewrites Podcast.
Would that be the name of the podcast?
No, I'd say No Rewrites.
But on Instagram, it's the No Rewrites Podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So, the blue sky thing is kind of out there in a lot of things. We discovered there's more podcasts called that. There's a social media platform called that. So we wanted something unique to us and something that hammers down the mantra of our podcast.
It's like it tells you what the podcast is a bit better through the title, where before the Blue Sky Podcast, I don't think it did that. Like I would tell people, oh, the name of the podcast is the Blue Sky Podcast, and they'd be like, oh, cool name, but they wouldn't understand right away what it's about, which isn't like, it's not nothing against it, but this, I like that it's like right away, kind of like the fact that it's a screenplay podcast. It's a podcast that is a bit improv-y because it's like no rewrites. You can't overthink things. You got to just go off the dome, on the fly, exactly.
And it's way cooler to say, what's your podcast called? The Blue Sky Podcast. What's your podcast called? No Rewrites. Ooh, really? What's that? I kind of,
if you ever come into that exact interaction, please let me know.
You now have the tools to talk to people about this podcast. Anyway, we're back for episode 16. It's been a while. Adeel and I have both been very busy with life and work, and...
when did we record the last one?
The last one was like a Halloween episode.
So, and we recorded like a week and a half before Halloween. So, it's been almost 3 months.
It's been a while. And Rick Jacket was a hit. It accurately confused everyone. So that was cool. I'm glad that happened. We're back with another episode. And the whole concept, if you're joining us for the first time, is every episode we get a prompt from a bowl that Adeel and I have written prior to recording. And we draw one of those prompts, and then we write a script based on that and perform it for you in the form of a 1930s radio drama.
Before we get into, I'm pretty happy that you just recapped everything, because I was like, what do we do again?
Yeah.
How do we start the episode? Before we begin, though, we just watched a movie recently. Can we talk about it for a quick second?
Dream Scenario.
What did you think?
I loved it. I thought it was so good. Such a cool meditation on celebrity, and such a light touch to deal with such a heavy subject, and how we consume people and how we fall in love with people.
Like we put them on a pedestal. Like the whole film is like Nick Cage starts appearing in people's dreams and becomes a celebrity off that. Like it's absurd reality. Like the idea that like that's the reason he becomes famous is because, like, for example, Jono, you start literally showing up in people's dreams you've never met, and then this news breaks out and people are like, whoa, what the hell? And it's a worldwide phenomenon where millions of people in the world are dreaming and you're appearing in these dreams. Mm-hmm. And it's like, because it's so peculiar, he gets like a celebrity status off of it. And it's interesting because they bestow it onto him. They're like, you are so cool, and he obviously takes it, because I love how he's such an insecure.
Yeah, he's a struggling professor. Like he's not a
struggling writer.
As he like to be, and like he's just got all these ideas, and he feels unrequited in life. And then something happens, and it changes, and it's really cool. I feel like it's kind of, I don't know how old the director Christopher Borgley is, but like I feel like it's like Gen Z Kaufman. You know, it's like
that's a good way to put it.
Super hip and cool looking, but like also just very
layered and cerebral, and like
so cool.
That's a very good way to put it. And it's Nicolas Cage. That's like Kaufman did an adaptation with Cage, and now and then you have this. Yeah, you have Dream Scenario. So it's like Nicolas Cage is like there to make sure the baton is passed to Gen Z, the Kaufman baton.
For sure. And Toronto's all over it, and it looks it looks cool as fuck.
It's shot mainly in Toronto, a little bit in Montreal. Yeah.
Cool.
Man, it's really good. If you guys, I would say watch it. I thought it was pretty cool. It's very unique.
Yeah, sweet.
Cool beans. Do anything else you want to catch up on, buddy?
I miss doing this. Maybe don't hit the mic.
Okay, see? I'm learning. I forgot all this stuff. I'm relearning.
You know, you forget little things about podcasting when you don't do it.
So don't smash the mic.
Don't smash the mic.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, don't say anything offensive. Okay, shall we go to the next section?
I think it's called
The Prompt.
All right, so here's where we get to the prompt. Here's where Adeel opens up the Forsaken Bowl. It's a different bowl.
It's not green anymore.
It's not green anymore.
All right.
But we've both written 5 prompts each in there. Neither of us know what each other has written, and
there was one prompt while you were writing it. You were like, "You're gonna hate this."
Yeah, but I'm gonna love it, and I'm gonna keep putting it in until we get it because it's a good idea.
Are you gonna tell me what it is if I don't get it right now?
Nope.
Oh, it's gonna be a surprise.
Not until.
Well, I've picked one.
Okay.
Is this Star Wars stoner comedy? Actually, that's
yes. Yes, we
actually
are back. Yeah, it is.
Shit.
That's the one. Because Adeel's not like super into Star Wars.
Not at all.
We're not allowed to rewrite, but we can take out the Star Wars if you want.
No.
But
I'm down.
I've just been seeing like a lot of these like cinematic universes start to have spin-offs. Like the boys have like Gen V, and like
Marvel fucking has,
and
like
even
30.
in the Star Wars thing, like they kind of take it and they go with other
like
things,
Mandalorian,
like the Mandalorian. It's just like things in the same world, but like what if there's a Jedi who's like super powerful, but he's a fucking stoner and a loser, and then he kind of gets called into. It kind of does set up a lot of shit, but we could. It does sort of impose a lot of stuff on us already. But
I don't know. I mean, again, first of all, if we take Star Wars out, then it's just a stoner fucking comedy.
Yeah.
So I think you need, because I really, that's a really cool. I was gonna ask you, what did you mean, first of all, by Star Wars stoner comedy? But what it sounds like is, it's in that lore, in that world, in that universe. That's kind of, I find it pretty smart. It's like you cut to this one Jedi who's like the couch potato, lazy,
doesn't want to get up, but he like lights his bong with a lightsaber, like. That kind of shit.
No, I love that. I'm all for it. I think me not knowing it might make it more fun for me to write it, or us to write it too.
I'm so glad that this was the first one.
That's hilarious,
dude.
I
just didn't think that. I didn't think it would get drawn today, but that's so sick.
That's
like
so
we're coming in hot. Episode 16, rebrand, new studio. It's my house.
Yeah, new. It is new studio, new name, new us.
There's cats. You might see some cats in the frame. Shit.
You have a haircut?
I have a haircut.
It feels like it's fresh, is it?
Yeah, I'd never had one of those before.
Yeah,
so,
dude.
Yeah.
New you.
New me.
You get one every year at the beginning of the year, and then the rest of the year you don't get a haircut.
And I just progressively become more and more like Jesus until Christmas, and then I cut it off.
And then you cut it off. It's rebirth.
Yeah.
Whoa.
No
rewrites, but rebirths.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So before we go into the next part, explain. I've already loved that one scene. That's a good explanation. That's how you picture this film or this script. It's like that's a scene in there where which we have to fucking put it in now.
Yeah.
He lights a bong with a saber.
Yeah.
So, Star Wars and stoner comedy. Explain more how you would mix it up.
So I think it would just be the same because we need like obviously we can't go too deep because it's a short film, but like we need that standard issue hero's journey, that call to arms, that like something bigger than you has sort of entered your life that you can't avoid anymore. Even if you want to be complacent, you have to take on this challenge.
Yeah.
Some dark force has come into the world and you've got to get off the couch and stop smoking weed.
First of all, if this goes well, I love the idea of doing this
genre like
with Harry Potter. Like imagine stoned Harry Potter.
That'd be sick.
He's like,
dude, I'm so muggled right now.
Exactly. That's hilarious. He's just what I'm trying to think. What is Big Lebowski? Is it like Big Lebowski meets Star Wars? This idea?
I would think like more like Pineapple Express meets Star Wars.
Yeah.
Just whatever stoner comedy. There's also like Half Baked.
Okay, cool.
There's a lot of really good things we can pull from.
Yeah.
And a lot of good tropes.
All
but
right,
really it all was predicated on like what's the most insane application or like what's the most to me different and weird and interesting application of the Star Wars cinematic universe.
Yeah.
And then I just pictured a guy lighting a bong with a lightsaber, like lighting a joint with a lightsaber.
Dude, talking to Yoda must be a trip.
Yeah.
Like when you're
he's got
like,
the Yoda Kush and shit.
Like, you got that Yoda
and like
Kush.
so and Adeel's not super deep into Star Wars. However, I grew up on it. In my later years, I'm less of a stalwart, but did you watch
Mandalorian?
I watch it all.
Oh, you watch Rogue One,
but I'm not like debating whether Star Trek and Star Wars are what one's better. Like I'm not that guy anymore, but I used to be.
You still watch all of it, and you love all of it. I love when when I do it too. When it's like you want to be like, I'm not that nerdy. I don't like compare, but like you do everything else. But you're like, I'm just not that one other type of nerdy.
Yeah.
But I watch and praise and respect all of it.
And my partner Katie and I just watched all 9 main movies again over the break. So like I'm pretty fresh into it, and divisive comment coming up. I really like the newer ones.
The what?
The new ones with like
what's what?
Like because people are like, oh, the new ones are so shit. They're like duh. But like it's kind of what we're
like Ahsoka. Is that the one?
No. The 3 new movies like the Rise of Skywalker,
Ryan Johnson,
the Ryan Johnson and J.J. Abrams movies.
Right. Ryan Johnson, J.J. Abrams. Who made the third one?
J.J. I believe.
So J.J. Ryan J.J.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and I like those because it's like new movie capabilities, what we can do with computers and also like just super fans making the old doing their spin on the
like
old
JJ
classic.
watched it growing up, so did Ryan, and it's like fucking now they get to make,
and now they get to do it with like crazy idea and like just the way they have X-wings and like fucking Poe Dameron like just fucking using the e-brake on the X-wing.
So
and
many
stuff.
words I don't know.
Yeah,
so
I know.
words.
Yeah, so
Poe Dameron. Did you just say it? Did you just make up a word?
Poe Dameron is Oscar Isaac's character.
Oh,
and he's like this. He's like a fly by the seat of your pants, like fucking
Han Solo.
flyboy Han Solo, but he's an X-wing pilot. And he's just amazing, and they're funny.
Which one? He's in. I know he's in the 7th one. I saw that.
He's in all of them. He's in all 3 of the new ones.
The new ones, okay. And then Rogue One is a separate spinoff.
Rogue One is like a prequel to the original trilogy.
Whoa, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so this one's
pretty cool.
for the lovers.
And the
TIE fighters.
Sure.
The lovers and the TIE fighters. Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
So since we're on the Star Wars theme, let's do Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Mm-hmm.
But let's do it with, this is for you.
Okay.
You might have already thought about this in your personal time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fuck, Marry, Kill with Luke Skywalker.
Okay.
Anakin
Skywalker.
Yeah, you got it.
His dad.
And then Kylo Ren, a.k.a. Ben
Solo. Anakin's nephew. Luke's cousin.
So it's all in the family, baby.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Fuck, Marry, Kill.
So definitely, I would say fuck Anakin.
Not Kylo Ren, though.
Well, I think we'll get there. But he's like dark, he'd just be nasty, He would be like, he'd probably have some skills in bed. He could fucking force choke me.
I think they could all do that. They all have the Force.
He could force choke me.
You don't have to explain yourself. You have a thing for Anakin.
And he also gave birth to twins, so he's virile. He's like,
you need that.
He could, he create a nice progeny. Marry Kylo Ren / Ben Solo, because he's like a sweet boy on the inside. Yeah, he's darkness. He's got the dark vibe, but he's a sweet boy on the inside. So
you'd like invest your time in him. So we
can change him. Yeah, and maybe he'd make nice paintings and like weird brooding songs. Like he'd write me songs, and like his love language would be through like other ways. Like he would just be elusive, and it's kind of like keep the relationship spicy. And then to kind of go in there like marriage and fucking, that they're kind of like making love. See, that's the thing. Like fuck Vader, because he'd be like, and then. But Kylo Ren would be, that was Darth Vader's breathing. That was Darth Vader breathing. Else. Okay. No. But then I think Ben Solo, he would just be a better sort of long-term thing. And then kill Luke. Luke is a wiener.
Luke started it all, man.
Fuck Luke. Fuck your power converters. Fuck going to Tashi Station. Fuck staring off at the 2 suns with a forlorn thing. Like he's just, love Mark Hamill, no shade to him, but like the character Luke, I think has just got a cheesy through line, and he's always just been the biggest like,
dweeb.
No, I'd like to keep it on manual control for a while or two. Like, come on.
Did you always feel that way, or is it after the new films came out, you're like, you know what?
I always thought he was whiny. I want to go to Tashi Station for the power converters. Like, no, dude, just fucking be a good worker, cool dude, help man. Ben out on the farm, and shut the fuck up with your dreams, man.
Ben?
Uncle Ben.
He has an Uncle Ben too?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out.
Oh, sorry, excuse me. Owen.
I was like, Owen. Dude, Spider-Man just took it out.
I'm all jumbled up. Okay. What about you?
Smash Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
Cause like, I don't know, dude's got it, man. There's a vibe,
The Force brought us together.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. I don't know, there's a vibe there, man.
Why can I see you?
And then marry Anakin, because like, I don't know. It's mainly no. I would kill Anakin
Yeah.
Because I'd marry Luke. Because Luke's like I feel like he's a sweetheart. Like he's someone you want to come home to.
He is kind of the
He's
purist.
like, you don't like exactly. He's very like just homebody. So you can like have nights in, and then you can also go out and like just be wholesome. Like I could see going to like what's it called? The pumpkin farm?
The moisture farm?
Yeah, sure. The moisture farm.
I
can go like apple picking with Luke, you know?
Right.
Where either of the other two guys, Anakin or Ben, it's like too much, like the marriage would be too fucking intense.
That's true.
Or with him, it's like chill. You know?
I buy that.
For those reasons, smash Ben, kill Anakin, marry Luke.
Huh, fair. All right.
I have one more. There's one more game.
Okay,
so have you ever done blind ranking?
No.
So the way it works is, I might butcher it, but we'll make our own version if I have to. But the way I think it works is, basically, there will be a ranking of top 6, or like 1 to 6. 1 being the best, 6 being the worst, right? I'm gonna name random Star Wars properties, like TV shows or movies. You don't know which ones I'm gonna end up naming throughout.
Okay.
You have to blindly rank. So by the time I get
6? Why is 6 the top? Why not like a sort of balanced number like 5 or 10?
Let's do 5 then.
Okay.
Because I want to do less because there's so like I don't want you to like, start thinking, oh, there's only a few left that he can say.
Oh, okay.
I want to really fuck with your head where you don't know which ones are left.
Okay.
Cool?
Yeah.
1 sec. Let me, because I don't know enough of my shit. I'm just going to open up everything that exists Star Wars. Where is it?
Big document.
Okay. Mandalorian.
5.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mandalorian's sick, at least especially like the first season.
No, 5 is worst.
Oh, 5 is worst.
1 is like top.
Oh, 1.
1?
Yeah.
Okay. Return of the Jedi.
3.
Okay. Rogue One.
3.
No, you can't do it. No, that's the point. You're filling these rankings up. So then yeah, that's what makes it tricky. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I didn't explain that properly, sorry, but too late. So Mandalorian's 1.
Okay, then 2.
2. So Mandalorian's 1. 2 is Rogue One.
Rogue One.
3 is Return of Jedi.
Yeah.
Okay, Andor.
Fuck. Can I switch Andor?
Nope.
Fuck. Well, Andor can't be 2.
Andor's 4 or 5. That's the only thing left.
Oh, fuck. I'm all jumbled by the numbers. This game is hard.
That's the thing. You don't know what's going to come next. You got to be careful.
So I guess it's fucking 4.
Okay. And then Phantom of Menace has to be 5, which I'm
Phantom
sure you're
Menace
okay with that.
would have been fucking 5. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's just, but you get the point. So now your top 5 are Mandalorian. What was your second one? Rogue One.
No, Rogue One.
Return of Jedi, Andor, and
yeah.
That's how blind rankings work. I wish I explained that better to you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
We'll do it again. I kind of want to do that again.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
That's a fun one.
Okay,
right.
cool.
So now it's the next part where we're actually start brainstorming.
We're gonna start brainstorming.
I don't know. Do you want to do a lead into
this next section? We like to call
Blue Sky.
All right. So this is the part where we say whatever we want. We are not constrained by budgets. We are not constrained by location. We are not constrained by anything.
We're just gonna throw ideas out.
Ideas and insecurities.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just gonna try and whittle down a story that will take place over 5 to 10 pages.
I'm usually it does get tricky because then we have to also then think of what's a creative way to do it within, like you said, 5 to 10. That's I think where we get a little like, okay, this grand idea. How do we shoehorn it into this little box? But in the beginning, let's start with like fun stuff. So we obviously need our hero.
We need our hero. Yeah, fuck. We'll think of a name because they all have cool names like Star Warsy names like Poe Dameron.
Well, this Luke.
Luke.
I mean, it's a cool name, but it's not Dameron.
Luke Skywalker. It's not Dameron.
What is it?
I hope I'm saying it right.
You know what's funny? I think what's really going to happen in this episode, more than me being confused, and I'm going to keep offending you, because I'm going to keep fucking up the lore, and the true nerd is going to come out. Because you're trying to act all cool, right? And you're like, I like Star Wars. I'm not big on it. And then eventually I'm going to be like, Padamadoom, and you're like, you son of a bitch.
Listen.
I will fucking cut you right now.
In this house, we pronounce the names in the canon correctly. Yeah, it's Dameron and Luke Skywalker.
That's the one I can't get right. Luke Skywalker.
And this just came to me now. I swear this wasn't in the bank, but like Doobie-Wan Kenobi, like that could be a line that someone says.
Okay, so that's the question I was going to ask you. You don't want to make this an alternate universe where
No, this
Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's in this universe.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah, like all the things are happening. I don't know where it should sit in the main thing. I think it should be its own story.
Okay, how about this? Okay, I don't know much about this, but what era is this in? Is this in Luke's era, in Anakin's era, in?
I think it would have to be in the later eras where
The new ones.
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, maybe we don't even address that because we could just throw references to people if they come up.
It might help. I agree. We don't have to, but it might help
because in the new movies, like the Jedi Order has been squelched again. Like it's kind of fallen. Like the end
who's the new Jedis then?
So there are no Jedis currently because so you know the sort of basic thing of the original Star Wars. The original trilogy. Luke Skywalker's a little boy on a desert planet.
Yeah.
He gets called to arms. No, Alec Guinness picks him up. The original Obi-Wan Kenobi. Liam Neeson is, or no, Ian McKellen and Liam. No, Liam Neeson isn't in it. Is he?
He is. He's the one who picks him up.
No. Obi-Wan Kenobi's the one who picks him up, and that original character was played by the name I just said and immediately forgot.
Liam Neeson plays. Come on. Ki Kon Jin.
No, it's Alec Guinness.
So
right. So no, yeah. So what's his name? Ewan McGregor plays the young Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Alec Guinness is the original Obi-Wan Kenobi. So Alec Guinness is the Obi-Wan in the original first Star Wars movie. Ewan McGregor plays him as a young.
No, I get that part. But
anyway,
then I need to know who's Liam Neeson.
He's fucking what's his name? He's Obi-Wan's master.
Okay.
And I forget Qui-Gon Jinn, I think. No, that's Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah, whatever. I'm not as like up on the like prequels, so we can just forget about those. But at the end of Return of the Jedis defeat the Emperor. They defeat the Empire in general. Darth Vader becomes a good guy. Spoilies.
Liam Neeson picks up Anakin. That's what it is.
Anakin, yes.
He's like the Obi to Anakin.
So exactly. Yeah, okay. Exactly. They're all just kind of like rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
Like the same
he's
thing
the
happens every time.
Hagrid / Dumbledore to fucking Anakin.
But at the end of the original trilogy, the dark side is defeated. Luke, everyone prevails. The good guys win. And then somewhere in there, they just kind of fall into nothingness because Luke or Han Solo and Princess Leia have a kid. And Adam Driver, and Luke is training him, and then Luke sees that this kid's got so much potential to turn dark. Like he sees this crazy future, and he has this moment where he's like, "Oh shit, I should maybe fucking cut this off here and like just kill him now."
Mark Hamill's like, "I should kill him." Okay.
And then he just lights up his lightsaber in this moment. He's not about to kill him. But when in Adam Driver's asleep, and then Adam Driver wakes up and just sees Luke Skywalker standing over him with a lightsaber, and is like, whoa, and like just kind of attacks him. And then he's
how old is Adam Driver then?
He's like
a kid.
He's like preteen.
So strong though.
Yeah, but he's kind of like the way Luke was. Like this is the next sort of, this guy's gonna save us all. And then Adam Driver's like, fuck this, and then he goes to the dark side. And then the new trilogy is all about discovering a new Jedi, kind of the way that Luke was discovered, but also Adam Driver has become the Darth Vader, and Adam Driver's also got a lot of good in him, but he feels betrayed by the good.
Right.
So
I heard it's like the opposite, where it's like Anakin's journey was like from dark back to good, where Adam Driver goes darker and darker.
He goes darker and darker, but there's still like
a little bit of
his conflict and his sort of butting of heads with his master is like, his master's like, you don't be good. You're starting to be good. I can still feel it. And he's like, no, I'm bad. I'm a badass.
Who's his master?
His name is General Snoke, or I don't know if it's General Snoke, but it's Snoke.
Yeah.
Who's just kind of like an emperor.
Like he's like the new Sith.
Yeah, exactly. He's the new Sith Lord. Yeah. So I don't know where it sits. Maybe it's like between the original trilogy and the new one, maybe a little bit before the new one.
Like when Adam Driver's a kid kind of thing, maybe.
But the thing is, like, if this guy's going to light a bong with a lightsaber, he should know that he's a Jedi. Or like maybe he's just like, whatever. I think all we have to do is establish.
What if it's Samuel L. Jackson's son?
Could be. It could be. Qui-Gon Jinn. That's not funny. See, my
Qui-Gon Jinn is Liam Neeson.
Oh, well then who's I think
He's Mace Windu.
Mace Windu, yeah.
Someone doesn't know there's Star Wars.
Yeah, well, I'm also 40. I also turned 40, so my memory is fucked. Okay. I don't know if we should just connect. I don't think we should connect them to any Jedi in general.
Okay, so in this world,
also, who's gonna do? I don't want to do the voice for Samuel L. Jackson's son.
Why not?
I don't know. Anyway,
he's not fucking. I'm not gonna make him like. It's fine. It's fine. All our characters can't just be brown and white. Like, I can. Yeah. Okay. That being said, what's the let's think about that. That's the reason I guess I was asking where it lies is because it's like, what would this person's hero's journey be? Right.
And let's stop talking about Star Wars for a little bit, okay. And let's just think about
can you help yourself?
Let's think about like just what sort of life a stoner has at the beginning. You know what I mean? Like.
He has to have a friend that's a stoner.
He's got
with
a buddy.
Yeah.
He's got like a Wookiee buddy or something.
He has a dealer that hangs out with him. Like, let's go a la Pineapple Express.
Yeah.
He has a buddy that deals him the weed and hangs out with him.
Yeah.
So it's a workaholics vibe.
Yeah. And then he maybe maybe at the beginning there's like just a scene like, you know, you're over a planet and then the Star Destroyer like comes over the camera, you know, like in Star Wars thing. Oh, man. I'd want to write like, you know how at the beginning the text goes up?
Yeah, but like
it's
a
just
stoner
too long.
thing.
It's like too long. You
but
know?
It's that would be the whole short film.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe like some Imperial thing descends on this planet at the beginning, and then like there's some cool action, and then we hard cut to the guy just like huffing on a bong.
Yeah.
Because also there was a point where the Jedis were being hunted down. So between the original, I'm sorry, we're talking about Star Wars again.
Yeah, see, couldn't help yourself.
So the prequels and then the original trilogy, like after that, like during the end of the prequels, Anakin goes and just fucks up all the Jedis everywhere and just kills everyone.
And that's what
So maybe this is after the beginning of like, it's somewhere in there where the Jedis are being eradicated.
So in the original trilogy, Jedis are kind of gone, or very few left.
There's none. Obi-Wan's like the last one.
Okay, but that being said, then this guy won't know he's a Jedi. He wouldn't be.
Well, so that's it. So maybe like this happens between the prequels and the original trilogy, where currently the Jedis are all being wiped out, but this guy's like, "Fuck it, I'm not going to be an active Jedi. I'm just going to sit here and smoke weed,
right,
and not take part in this." And then someone comes to kill him.
But you don't want to make this a parody, then, right? Because like,
no, I want to make it
in the real world.
Like, I want J.J. Abrams to listen to this episode and be
make
like,
this.
Let's fucking make that short.
That's pretty cool. Because I was gonna say, because there is a world where you can make this like Spaceballs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
You're like, no, this is in the fucking Star Wars.
I want to do a sincere,
okay, cool.
a sincere application of a stoner comedy in the Star Wars thing. But I don't think we need to get too far. Like maybe we just get to the point where he's like, all right, fuck it, and he has to go, or he gets killed, or like. You know what I mean? Like we don't have to go too expansive. Let's kind of keep it reined in just because it's a short film. So I don't know how to do that necessarily.
Yeah. So I do like this idea where it starts action-packed, right? It starts action-packed, like in the sense of like it starts maybe like you said something descending, and maybe you see a little bit of a quick fight.
Yeah.
And then cut to like at a certain point, and the bad guys win the fight, and everyone's like a bunch of Jedis are on the floor dead.
Yeah.
And then he says a line of dialogue
and
like
he calls the Emperor, and he's like, "There is one more."
Yeah, we can feel it. And then cut to like you said, like just like fucking doing a bong hit, and he's with his buddy who's he's like Jar Jar Binks. Gotta be. Like,
can't be. Jar Jar, like rewatching those, that fucking guy. I'm so sorry. I think the actor that played him like just got such a hard time, and like no shade to that. Like that's fucking Lucas's fever dream. That's 100% George Lucas's fault.
Yeah.
But that character fucking sucks.
We have to give him because that's one thing about Star Wars. We can have fun with like there's Yodas. There's like there's like not just humans. So his dealer buddy could be a fun character we can create, you know?
Yes,
like
exactly.
Maybe a robot that deals weed or fucking whatever, you know? So we can have some fun there.
There's always a droid companion. Yeah, right? And maybe the inciting incident or like the end, like what actually makes him be like, all right, fuck it, I'm going to go out, is his dealer gets killed because the Sith are on the planet trying to suss this guy out.
So the comedy is there because are you saying it like in a comedic way? Because it is still jarring because his dealer died, but it's kind of like that's what pushes him over the brink.
Yeah, I think because Star Wars is kind of funny, but I think we can lean into the comedic aspects of it.
No, I like literally like so even if he dies, so he's like so excited for this Yoda Kush. I love that there's a strain called Yoda Kush, but he's like when he dies, he's like, no, like, where is the Yoda Kush? And he's like just dying out. His dealer,
like Wookiees cookies or something. Yeah,
like
a
bunch of those.
Yeah. There's like so much to riff on.
Cookies, exactly.
But maybe too, like he could find at the very end. He finally is like, all right, I'm gonna fucking do it. And then he's like facing off in a lightsaber battle with this like young Sith Lord, and he's like raises his lightsaber, and they just do like one swing, and the Sith's just like because he's a stoner, and like the guy just has no reaction time. So he just gets cut in half immediately, and then it's over.
Okay, so he just fucking dies. Yeah. We amp up the whole script of like he's gonna get revenge,
build it, and then he's like, all right,
yeah,
and just like a super womp ending. Maybe I don't know, or we just do the like suggestive he's gonna go off and do.
I was just gonna say, I mean, only because it's such a Star Wars thing it's such a trilogy thing to do, where it's like you ended with like he's now gonna go get his vengeance, and you end with that build up. And you can still have a joke for the last line of the whole short. I don't know what that is, but you can still have an ending where it's like, maybe it's a joke. Okay, so it starts with an action-packed moment, which will be fun to write. It's like the bad guys have shown up to the planet.
I'm so fucking stoked to be doing this.
The bad guys have shown up. They just go off and kill a bunch of good guys. The Jedis are just eradicating more Jedis and shit. And then it's like... that's perfect. He calls the Emperor and he's like, there's still one left.
Yeah.
And he's like, we'll find him. Hard cut to Bong, and it's like music playing, and it's him just smoke. He's very, who he also is, and we can put a little bit of that humor in there. He's a Star Lord a bit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He's like the unlikely comedic hero,
the everyman Jedi.
Yeah, exactly, the everyman Jedi. Exactly. He's smoking, and you could even like it's up to us, but like Star Lord, the way they introduce him to is like a girl's like leaving the house because she's pissed because he's not like he's being kind of like we kind of like characters like this. It's good to make them unlikable in the beginning.
Yeah,
because then when they become likable, it's like redemption arc. It's like not only was he unlikable and now he's becoming likable. He's turning a new leaf or whatever, right?
Yeah. Old world with a new light.
Yeah.
Old world with a new lightsaber.
There you go.
Yes. And that's a nice thing because like stoner comedies are kind of cliched too. Like the partner like throwing the clothes out the window, like get out of here, or like she's packing up at the beginning and he just does nothing about it. Like we set up that this guy's just not motivated to do anything. Like all his friends are dead. He's just trying to be reclusive.
And she can be our expositional thing where she's like, you're a Jedi, you should be helping them. Like she's actually maybe upset about that a bit too.
Yeah.
She's like, you should be helping them and you're just hiding out here like a coward. And he's like, well, I'm still breathing, aren't I? Like he's very like, well, I'm proud of my decisions.
Yeah.
But, and that's your cliche like expositional moment, but you kind of have fun with it. And because then the dealer friend can be showing up as she's leaving, which is another like, she's like, come on, again, you're going to smoke up or whatever, or you whatever. And she hates the dealer friend or whatever it is, right?
Girlfriend leaving him. Dealer shows up. Yeah.
And I don't know if we want to keep doing expositional because you do want to have some fun with this dialogue when the dealer shows up, like with all the jokes and stuff. But he could even be like, yeah, it took me a while to get here, man. There's some shit going on out there.
Yeah. The blockade. Like, I think the Empire's showing up here. You better be careful.
Yeah, and our Star Lord's just like, yeah. What, you got the Wookiees cookies or whatever? He's just like, fuck off. Now, again, because it's a short, usually the way we kind of battle the short situation is like we cut to either a montage of series of events or we kind of bottle it into like this one main kind of scene. This right here, so dealer shows up. Would you want it to be immediate where in this conversation, boom, there's an attack on the house? Or is that too on the nose?
No, I think it's got to be like, you got to delay the thing. Like you got to put it off. Like, cause that's like the stoner thing. Like your motivation is so fucking low. And it's just like, no, man. But how do we keep hitting that beat without just.
Well, I was going to say instead of this film being about him standing up to because we have to keep the stoner comedy alive. Otherwise, if like you were saying earlier, or like even what I just said, where he gets attacked and then he has to go after right away. It's Star Wars now. It's not even a stoner comedy anymore. Yeah. It's like 2 minutes of stoner comedy or less. So what if we really Star Wars is Star Wars already because we're on the fucking planet. We're in the universe. So let's not hammer more of a hero's journey there. Instead, we go a left turn and we make it more of a stoner comedy because already in that world, right?
Yeah.
So now the journey is he shows up and he's like, you got the thing? And he's like, I don't have the Yoda Kush. And now it's the journey with his fucking dealer.
They got to go find a supplier.
It's Pineapple Express a little bit. Exactly.
Yeah.
But while he's going to find a supplier, these guys are hunting him because he's a Jedi.
Yeah. So there's, the two tracks of the story. Yeah, exactly. Because I think like, if we lean too far into only Star Wars shit,
then it's just Star Wars.
It's just Star Wars.
What makes it different? So even like the happiness, the ending, I almost say fuck the whole ending. And again, we can work it out. But what if it's not the ending of like, he's going to avenge or he's going to become a Jedi? The ending is a happy ending of him getting his Kush. And he has to fight he almost fights the bad guys because they're the last little blockade. And that's really why he fights them. Not because he wants to stand up.
That's good.
And it's not about, I fought because I saved my dealer or whatever. He just does it and he gets the Kush. And the last scene is him lighting that bong up again or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's more about, it's like, it is more Pineapple Expressy, but that's the point. It's like, you already have the Star Wars there. We don't have to make it about him being good. It's like, he wants his fucking Kush.
Yeah, that's great. So then, inevitably, I know I was like, let's not talk too much about Star Wars, but I'm going to keep stitching stuff in.
That's what'll keep it,
But let's think about like the everyman's version of like that. Like, let's just think of the most basic, relatable, human stuff that we've both gone through journey to do that, and then we put the Star Wars skin
exactly,
after.
which we already have a great like the girl has his love interest has left now. His dealer buddy's there, and they already like right away there's a conflict. I don't have the Kush, and he's like, oh shit, and he's like, and we can add the dealer doesn't want to go. He's like, there's so much danger, and because he's a Jedi, he's like, okay, I'll go with you, because he's like, okay, I could protect you more than you can protect yourself because I'm a Jedi. So he's like, fine. He's down to be a hero now for the Kush.
Yeah.
So he's down to go on the hero's journey as long as it's for his selfish needs.
But he's like, you haven't used that lightsaber in months or years. You know what I mean? Like, how do you know you can even fight? And he's like, watch this. Because, like, we also have the Force, right? Like, he could be doing stuff. But, like, we should maybe have a scene where he's, like, doing shitty Force. Like, he's working with the Force, but it's just really shitty. Or, like, funny applications of it. Yeah.
Even if, like, the dealer comes in and he's, like, talking, and he's like, what's that smell? He's like, oh, my bad. And he flushes the toilet in the washroom from like 20 feet away. That's what he uses Force for, to flush the toilet.
That is so funny. That is so
I know Star Wars.
Funny. Yeah, well, like, that's good. That's really funny. Oh, my bad. Maybe that's something that his girlfriend could say when she leaves. It's like, it fucking reeks in here. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, and then just like, flushes it.
Yeah.
And then he comes in, and then the conflict, is right away. He pulls out all these other names of Kush.
Yeah.
And we have fun there. But he leaves out the one. He's like, it's like his Pineapple Express. He's like, where's the Yoda Kush? And he's like, so about that, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, okay, well, can you get it by tomorrow? He's like, dude, it's on the other side of fucking town or whatever.
Yeah.
If the words they use, village. Yeah. I'm not going there. I told you, there's people out here. There's the Empire's here or whatever the fuck. And then he's like, and then he kind of steps up to the challenge. It's like, all right, I'll take you with me. And he's like, and the dealer can make fun of him, being like, you're going to fucking protect us. He's like, I got this. And then you've already know that he has the Force. The audience knows at least. He can then, to show his friend, take out the saber and do something stupid with it.
Yeah.
And then the friend's like,
he just takes it and cuts the coffee table in half. And he's like, fuck.
And everything falls. And it's like, that wasn't a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you're right.
That's good. Something, he does something with it where it's like, he cut something, but it also like fucks up with the electricity in the house or whatever, where he ruins the house by doing it.
Yeah.
It's very like goofy in a way, but it's like he can still use it though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So also, why don't we talk about like the stoner tropes, like the character elements that would inform him navigating the world.
Right. What's a stoner, like I let's just, as references, what's a stoner comedy to you? Pineapple Express is always there. Half Baked is always there.
Half Baked. Jesus, I don't know. I'm gonna do some googling because there's probably other ones.
Superbad,
I smoked out of there. Well, the Fear and Loathing, I wouldn't consider a stoner comedy. I guess like
White Castle.
Oh yeah, Harold and Kumar go to White Castle. What is a movie called?
Never
Bong
seen
Water?
How High. I always want to watch that.
Looks like there's a movie called High School. Oh, Friday, I believe.
Big Lebowski. Dazed and Confused.
Yeah. Oh, Dazed and Confused. Totally. Well, there's the Bad Trip, that Eric Andre and Lil Rel movie.
Oh, I watched that. I think the one that's like a mockumentary a little bit.
Yeah, well, it's like real elements.
Yeah, it's really good, dude. Yeah, it's actually a fun movie.
That's super fun. What these guys have this really cool like road movie. Eric Andre and Lil Rel. I can't remember what they're
talking about. Bad Trip.
What they're trying to do, but then so it's a scripted movie, but then they
have
incorporate
they
kind of pranky things, but it's done really well. Like it's probably one of the best like Jackass adjacent movies.
Yeah,
that's
the best. You know, it's very similar. Have you ever seen Bad Grandpa? Is it Bad Grandpa? With Knoxville playing the grandpa.
Oh yeah, I don't think I've seen it.
It's called Jackass Presents Bad Grandpa. Yeah, that one's where that to me was the first time I saw that ever. Where it's like a scripted film with a story arc with everything. He's wearing like an old man's suit, so you think like in the film he's playing like his grandpa, so you have all these scripted moments. But then they involve real scenarios where they go into public and there's like a prank, like a Jackass prank happening, but it's woven really beautifully into the script.
Yeah.
Man, they do it so well. Yeah, you should watch Bad Trip.
In a way, that's what we're kind of doing with the stoner comedy and the Star Wars skin. But also The Night Before.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. That's all on the list.
That's a good one. But basically, it's all about like generally men. I don't know how many like female-led stoner comedies there are. There should be more. There probably will be more, hopefully. But it's someone who starts and they're established, like you said, as an unlikable character.
Unlikely hero, which is, again, very hero's journey.
Yeah.
They're all similar in hero's journey. It's an unlikely hero, and they have to go on a journey then to find, like Pineapple Express is a journey still.
Yeah.
You know?
So Wikipedia defines stoner film as a subgenre of comedy film based on marijuana themes, where recreational use often drives the plot, sometimes representing cannabis culture more broadly or intended for that audience.
I mean, basically what we've been talking about. And I think that, like, I personally think we're on the right track already. It's one of those things where the trope will kind of speak to us as we, unfold and write. The beats, in terms of the beats, though, opening action scene, cut to our hero,
cut to stoner,
Sebastian,
establish. We'll think of something.
Yeah. Sebi, I don't know, and then the girlfriend leaves. He flushes the toilet. Girlfriend leaves. Dealer comes over.
Yeah, girlfriend does an exposition dump, sets the world up for us.
Yeah, that you're like being a coward and all this.
Dealer shows comes. Up. You got that Yoda Kush or the Wookiees cookies or whatever.
Well, the dealer like goes, okay, I got your. He takes it out. He goes,
oh yeah, we can do that. We can. Oh man, so many references. So many in there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you have a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And then he goes, cool. Where's the Yoda Kush? And he's like, and then you can see the dealer was trying to avoid bringing that subject up. He's like, listen, it's at this guy's house or whatever. This dispensary on the planet or whatever. And he's like, yeah, we'll go get it. And he's like, I can't, man. It's on the other side, and the Empire's here. And I like that they kind of just loosely throw that around. The Empire is here. Like, it's like such a stoner thing to do too, where they're just humanizing the idea of how fucking this epic dark side is like, well, the Empire is like infiltrating us.
Yeah.
And then the dealer's like, I don't want to go there. And then the Jedi, our hero, is like, okay, fine, I'll come with you. I'll come get it with you. And he's like, and the dealer kind of scoffs at that, and it's like, yeah, okay. And our Jedi proves that he can help, and he can like use his lightsaber, and he's still a Jedi.
Yeah.
And then we cut to the journey. That's where it's like, obviously we can't spend too much time because it's short, but it's like
fun stuff happens.
Yeah, hilarity ensues at that point where you just have like fucking random beats.
I'm trying to remember this David Cross directed movie. There was a funny line in it. There was like a documentary crew. And why can't I find it? I remember like there was this scene where this guy's talking to his dealer, and that particular kind of weed was out, and he's like, "I need this weed. This weed gives me the perfect ideas." Like this guy just needed one exact strain of weed, and I think that's the whole impetus of it might be Hits. No, or am I thinking of Bobcat Goldthwait? Is it God Bless America? Anyway, I'm going on a tangent here. I'm just trying to remember a line that doesn't fucking matter. Isn't that the impetus of Pineapple Express? Like they want a certain kind of strain, or like what happens? What happens in that movie?
Right now.
Maybe it's good that we can't remember because I'm like, we're just going to end up ripping that whole thing off. And if we do it accidentally, it's way better if we then just.
One of the similarities in what we're talking about is that like they get attacked and then they have to escape James Franco's house and now they run the whole film because they go to pick up the weed, I believe, the Pineapple Express, and then they I think see a murder, and then now the bad.
Oh,
I think that's what happens.
Right. So in that way, the murder is replaced by. You're not supposed to hit the mic.
Sorry, I keep forgetting to not hit the mic. Okay, I should tattoo that.
Yeah. Let's change it to "Don't Hit the Mic" podcast.
We keep changing the name just to remind us what the podcast is about.
We can only change our name twice every 14 days.
All right. Well, this might be
according to Instagram.
This might be the one.
Okay. Yeah. So then we've got main guy, kind of a deadbeat, avoiding life.
Yeah. So we're now the journey starts.
Yeah.
Going to get Yoda Kush. That's the journey.
I think it should take place on Tatooine because most of those sort of heroes, like
is there more than one planet?
There's a ton.
Okay.
There's a ton. There's Tatooine, which is a desert planet.
Is that where Luke was?
That's where Luke was.
Okay.
That's where Rey in the new movies was. That's where Anakin was.
If it's desert, though, is that... How the fuck would you grow weed? I mean, greenhouses.
I mean, it doesn't have to be weed. It's just like...
No, it's weed.
Well, like, it's just whatever drug is available on that thing, you know?
So it's not weed?
Well, it's... I don't know if marijuana, cannabis exists.
Why not, though?
It could be. Okay, well then, like... There's just
there's greenhouses. There's greenhouses.
Yeah, they have moisture farmers all over that planet.
Yeah.
But just for the record, there's all and for maybe if you think of other ideas, there off the top of my head, Alderaan was destroyed in the original movie, so that'd be dead already. There's Dagobah, where Yoda's from. It's like a swamp planet.
Okay.
There's the Endor system, and it's more like actually there'd be a lot of weed. This could be like Endor Kush, but Endor's where the Ewoks live. It's like a forest planet. There's Coruscant, which is just an entire planet that's a city. There's Bespin.
What is it?
Coruscant.
I only like that because it's a city. Then we can make it like it's a normal city, and then
Yeah.
But I don't mind Tatooine because it's like the most famous one.
And that's usually where like the
all
journey
the shit
of
happens,
the thing starts. So
there's a show called Andor, right? They base it on that planet.
No, it's Andor is the name of the character. Endor is the planet, but Andor is.
They had to fucking do that. They couldn't just fucking give him a different name that wasn't the planet.
Andor is very good, by the way.
And I heard Andor is one of the ones.
It was like a slow burner, but like it earns everything. But
Still
that's this story about a guy. He's not. His name is Cassian Andor, and he was just kind of like a
Cassian Andor Cassie.
But he was just like a whatever regular guy on a planet. He's not a Jedi or whatever, but he becomes sort of ingrained in the rebellion just by virtue of all these circumstances. And he's actually like a good guy, but he's kind of hiding. That he's like a good kind of reference for that. But then he ends up ultimately stealing the plans for the Death Star, and he dies in Rogue One.
Spoiler.
Well, yeah, okay, this is full of spoilers. If you haven't seen Star Wars, I recommend getting with the program.
Okay, cool. I'm cool with the Tatooine, the city planet, or the Tatooine?
Tatooine.
Okay,
I think Tatooine makes sense.
Cool.
And I think because on Tatooine they have the Jawas, which are like these junk collectors. They're these little hooded guys that are like this tall and they wear hoods and they're like, oh, dee. And they like just sell scrap parts to moisture farmers and shit. There's also the Tusken Raiders, who are they ride banthas, which bantha fodder kind of ties into like we had a conversation about fodder once. There's like, I'll turn you into bantha fodder, but Tusken Raiders don't speak like a normal language. There's the Hutt family. Like there's so much.
You're foaming at the mouth, sir.
I know. Can you see?
You're just. I feel like we should do Tatooine so that the younger you can get your jollies off to be like writing a script based on Tatooine.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay, cool.
So then there's lots of stuff, lots of obstacles they can get thrown in there. I'm just not sure, like, because I feel like we could write it right now, but I want our.
No, we need more beats.
I need our listeners to.
So again, that's what I was trying to get back to. Is he leaves his house. He's gonna go help this guy to get Yoda Kush or whatever the drug is. Let's say Yoda Kush for now. We obviously already are gonna be a couple pages in, and we want to make sure this short. Let's not make sure that it's so short. We can definitely make it 10 pages long.
I think a 10-pager because there'll be like lots of like cutaways and stuff.
Well, there's gonna be like also a page of you just being like the description of the planet and like just going off on that.
We also have to have. I think we have the A plot and the B plot, where the B plot is the Sith doing a thing, and maybe like because we can establish all these characters as they go through the journey, right? And then we see the stoner application of that as those guys move forward, but the Sith are on their tail. So then we get to see the Sith application of those funny things. So like we can set up some stuff.
Like whatever they just did, and the Sith just like they come across those. Yeah, I get you. So they're always like a few moments or a few hours ahead or whatever of the Sith.
And we can find an interesting way to like combine those so it's not just like A, B, A, B, A,
So,
B.
okay. To get on the journey, you need a couple things, right? To get to the place, you need a ride. So the first thing they can do is like, okay, they're like leave the house and like cut to like they're walking in this desert and they're hiding and they're crouching and all this shit to figure out, and they can hear some noises and whatever, and they're like, okay, I need to borrow my, and again, they
got a hot wire. They should have to hot
for
wire.
For now, I'm just gonna call him Star Lord just for the sake of like that's what our character is. Our Star Lord character is like, I know where we can get a ride, right? And what he can, if you say, I was going to say he could just go and steal, like ask someone for it. But yeah, I like the stealing and hot wiring better. So then it's like, what if he's like, and the dealer, give him a name just so I can stop saying the dealer.
Shit. I'm like going through names right now, but I'm like having the
like Star Warsy names you want?
Yeah,
right, of course.
Let's just call him Dealer.
Dealer,
right,
okay.
For right now. But
so Star Lord and Dealer.
Cool
So Star Lord tells Dealer, okay, listen, my neighbor or my cousin, whatever, has a bike. We can e-bike and we can kind of use it and blah blah blah. And he goes, okay, and the dealer like, sure, yeah, we can ask him. So the dealer goes and knocks on the door. He thinks he's asking him while Star Lord's like hot wiring.
Yeah.
And then the dealer, the guy opens the door. He's like, and he's like, can we use your bike? And the dealer can be, we have to give him a personality. So the dealer's very like, he doesn't understand like double entendres or puns. He's very like straight, right? So he goes, oh, hey man, can we? And he thinks everyone's gonna say yes to him. So he's like, can we use your bike? And his cousin, and Star Lord's cousin's like, fuck no. And he's like, oh. And he did not expect that because he's like, Star Lord had said we could use his bike. So then he kind of he's like thinking about it. He's like, what if we? And then all you hear is like a vroom vroom, and Star Lord just comes around and he's like, get the fuck on the bike, and he rides off with him. So it's like Star Lord knew the whole time he was going to steal it, while our dealer character's personality was like, we'll ask nicely and we'll get it.
And I think too, maybe our main character's command of the Force can be growing as he does it. Like he's kind of like shaking the dust off. So like when he's like, no, fuck no, and he's like, no, please, and then it's like, you better get out of here. He pulls a blaster on him. And then, like, you just hear the vroom, vroom. And then the guy just comes by in the background, and the speeder's like, boom, and he just grabs the dealer. You know what I mean?
Right. He doesn't even ask him. He just, like, forces him on. Yeah,
nice. You know?
Nice.
So, like, he's kind of...
getting better and stronger.
He's getting better and stronger and more...
and just using more of his applications that he hasn't in a while, right?
Yeah.
So that's your first thing. You got a ride now. So now you have a ride. So that's our first beat after the thing. Once he gets the ride, they're on... And then we can cut to the Sith visiting the same cousin moments later, and the cousin could be like, says fuck no to them and then gets choked out or something. He's just always a dick to everyone, but
he's just like, no, fuck you, pulls a blaster on him, and then there's like just this beat, and then you hard cut to like the skeleton, because at the beginning of Star Wars, the original A New Hope, Luke comes back to find his aunt.
Skeletons?
They're skeletons. They're just charred skeletons. So you just hard cut, and there's just like a charred skeleton and like the smoke
as they're leaving,
and then you just see the Siths like.
That's pretty good. Okay, cool. So there's your beats there. What else do you need to get? Like, what would be an obstacle? So you got your ride. You know where you're headed.
The greenhouse. Why is he out of the Kush? He just hasn't had a shipment, or is there like a shortage, or is there?
He was supposed to go pick it up from the supplier in the morning, but the Empire hit.
Right.
That could be it. So it's simple. But so the supplier is like, say, on the other side. So like
the sort of the town Mos Eisley is shut down. They have to go into Mos Eisley, which is a spaceport.
Question for you: is he going to like? Because then they're a little. I'm kind of thinking ahead at the ending when he gets to the supplier. The supplier could be like, yeah, sure. And he turns on him. He's like, there's a bounty on your head.
He should rat him out. That always happens. There's always a rat. There's always someone going like into a communicator.
So if they get the bike and then they head to the thing, do we just now... Is it too quick that the bike was a good beat?
Well, the bike should get them... So they should be remote, right? Like, he's far away because he's avoiding his life. He's avoiding life in general. He's also a Jedi, so he's got to be low-key. So they have to get a speeder to get into Mos Eisley, which is a spaceport.
Okay.
And as to quote Obi-Wan in A New Hope, it's, "You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy."
Oh, so it's like the fucking black market.
It's just like a gross fucking...
And that's, of course,
beat
that
down desert city. So they have to like go through there. There's people. Maybe they get mugged. You know, like maybe they're approached by, or maybe like the Jedi too owes money to people, or the dealer owes money to people.
Oh, I like that a lot, where the Jedi has not shown his face here in so long, and they're like, you still owe me. Because here's the thing, right? If they show up in this thing, instead of like, not to say, I don't always want to sound like, oh, what's a quick way to get out of the scene? But it's like, instead of a whole thing getting mugged and shit, what if it's like, it's a really cool moment of showing, again, his like skills? Because they surround him, and they're like, you owe us money. And he's like, guys, I don't want to do this. And then maybe he does have an action scene where he kind of fucks people up.
Don't make me do it, because like there's also the like, these aren't the droids you're looking for. And he's like, dude, don't make me use the Force. He's like, yeah, you can't use the Force. It's like, I don't owe you money. He's like, you don't owe me money.
That's really good.
You know?
Yeah, I forgot that's also the Force. You could do that. Yeah.
You know, and maybe he like, also there's like, I think too, by virtue of using the Force, you do tip off the Sith that you're around.
Is Dune based on Star? Like Dune has that exact same power, where they're like, they control, like, you're on my side now. Like, yo,
yeah, I mean,
what the fuck? They're all the same.
All
dude.
sci-fi is just a fuck.
And Harry Potter's is a Crucio curse, which is like, or Imperio, where it's like, oh, you're gonna be under my spell. Wow. Anyways, that's good.
Ain't nothing new under the sun, buddy.
So is that just a quick beat we do, where like they do corner him, and you think it's gonna be a face-off, but it's not a face-off.
Yeah.
He just uses his Force.
But he could like get the shit beat out of him for a bit. You know what I mean? And he's like, you know, there's a fight, and like he's trying to fight back, but he can't. Like his grasp on the Force and Jedi stuff should be tenuous, but it kind of comes in fits and spats. So when he grabs him on the speeder, that's not a big Force move. He's not forcing him onto the speeder. He's just grabbing him. He's just deft at that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But then like he's trying to like, you know, grab a rock and it doesn't work. And then the guy's just like, oh, and like there's like a fight scene and like he just gets the shit kicked out of him. And he's like, yo, look at you.
Or because you've already seen the Force with the flush and the thing, right? So what if in this one, it's that particular Force of like, I don't know if there's a name for it, but like, you know, it's like, I don't owe you money, right?
Yeah. It's a Jedi mind trick.
Yeah, so Jedi mind trick, right? So maybe he's not great at that. So it's like when he gets cornered, he's like, don't make me use the Force. He's like, yeah, you can use it. He goes, I don't owe you money. He goes, what? And he hits him because it's like he thinks it'll work.
It's like the
he's
Indiana
not
Jones
good at that
scene
yet.
with the guy with the swords, and then Indiana Jones just shoots him. Yeah.
So he hits him, and then he's like, because it didn't work. Is the him doing I don't owe you money? He goes, what? And then he punches him, and he goes, and he's trying to do the Jedi mind trick.
It'd be funny if he's like, I don't owe you money. Like, just like, okay.
So then, because then at one point, then he starts to fight back a bit, and then he does it one last time, and it works. Because now he's like, how do I do it again? Like,
and it's just like, and there's this moment where he's like, cracking his knuckles, and then he's like, you don't owe me money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that'd be good. So then that's like, because then we don't show, because action already in the beginning happened, and then we did some other stuff with the bike. This is more to show that he's remembering how to use a Jedi mind trick.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh my God, did I just say that sentence?
So stoked.
So nerdy. I love it. Okay, cool. So there's that. I like that a lot. That's a nice. And then after that, he goes into this dispensary or whatever the fuck where this guy works and where the weed is. Who's gonna turn on him?
Yeah.
And that's like a very, I don't know, what's that one character, Jabba the Hutt kind of character? You want to make it like that, or?
Well, yeah, it should be. Maybe it should be one of the Hutts.
Yeah. So
yeah, because that's
more
canon.
than one Hutt.
They're a whole gangster family.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's a Hutt. He goes to the Hutt, and he's like, I need the Yoda Kush, and he's like, and I don't know how they talk, but we basically say, he says like you can get it, right? You can bring it. Sure, it's yours, and he sends one of his people to go get it. But low key, they come back with like a gun or some shit, and it's like, we're holding you because the Empire has a bounty on you. And now I don't know what happens, but we got to get to
they're in a jail cell. They're in like they're locked up, like, and then they have to get out of that somehow. Or
that's
like,
my thing though. Like that's prolonging it quite a bit.
Yeah,
it's like,
true.
How do we? If he gets there and they're like, yeah, we got your Yoda Kush, and they just turn guns on him. Is it more a matter of he does something to kind of, as the Empire is showing up, he does some, I don't know. I'm trying to think, how does he get out of it? Like, how does our hero get away without us spending 10 pages on it? On that
maybe we don't do, maybe when the Jedi mind trick thing happens, he tries to do it. It does. He's like, what? And then the punch thing works. Like that, we just kind of get out of that scene quick. Maybe there's a little bit of back and forth, like he's trying to charm him.
Okay, nice.
It doesn't work. And then when they get ratted out, he's like, he tries a Jedi mind trick. It doesn't work. Third time, it works.
And so that's the ending. It's like he says like thing and like, oh, okay, yeah. And then they don't call it in, or they've already called it in.
They've already called it in.
So he gets convinced them to give him the Yoda Kush.
Yeah.
And then he just flies off, and that's the ending.
Yeah. Does he ever? Because if we have the Sith chasing him, there has to be a confrontation. Because otherwise, it's just fucking.
Yeah. Even in a stoner comedy, they would have you're right. Does he try it on the Sith and then it works? And then that's like the fucking ultimate thing? Or is that too easy?
Does he do? This is so stupid, and I don't really mean it, but like, you know, does he blow a super and the Sith gets high? Like, he's starting to fight the Sith, and he has like a really shitty battle because he's not doing it. But then, like, you know,
really funny.
he's oh, what if like when he gets high, that like he's like, I'm getting my ass kicked, and then he needs to get high to really fully activate his potential, and then
that's really good.
Then he defeats them, and then he just goes back into hiding.
That's really good. My one question.
Or it'd be another funny way, if we're going to go into the stoner comedy trope, is where the bad guys and the good guys kind of get together at the end, maybe. I don't know if I can't point to a movie that does
Danny
that.
McBride becomes good at the end of Panda Express, or becomes on this side.
You know, and like it's the Sith guy and
smoking weed together.
Dude smoking on the thing.
I kind of do like your other thing of like he smokes the weed. He smokes the weed, and then he's like all of a sudden fucking charged up, and then it's like, and again, you could write it in a quicker, fun way where it's like just all you see is just lights, and he's like vroom, 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 just fucks people up, and then just leaves on his bike with his dealer, and they're cut to him doing smoking a bong at home. I don't hate that because it's kind of funny where it's like it's his spinach, it's his Popeye spinach is weed.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, and you just see like a light show. Or do they get to the showdown and then he just like finds a way to escape and then just goes back home? I don't know. It's kind of anticlimactic.
That's the thing. I was leaning towards that, but you're right. That's
it should be more Star Warsy and like.
And again, like we do at the end of the day, it's no rewrites, right? So the whole point is this would be a first draft. In the first draft, we get to the ending, and then if anyone was to take it and rewrite it for themselves, or if we were just going to turn to film, it wouldn't be this fucking script. You'd tweak it up. You'd add 8 more pages, or 10 more pages.
Yeah, we're just trying to get to the finish line.
So here's my one devil's advocate or thing because right now I think the idea that's winning for me is he gets ratted out, and then he uses Jedi mind trick, and it works on Hutt. So then he gets the weed. Right, even though they're still coming, and he's like, "We gotta go." They just like, "We gotta go." He's like, "Wait." And so you know how like it's like a countdown to this thing coming. It's him rolling the joint real quick, and he's like, "Give me the lighter." He's like, "What are you doing?" And he like takes a saber, like the Force, lights it. It's like a really cool, epic moment where he lights it.
Maybe we save the lightsaber. That we don't start with him lighting the bong. Like he's just smoking the bong, so he's renounced Jedi.
I don't mind as a callback too, though, because you know he does it. Like the first thing you ever see the whole thing is that, and then now he goes. And he lights it up. So it's like a callback to that's how he lights his
bongs. So then at the beginning, we have to plant a seed when his partner's leaving him. That like, are you ever gonna do anything? And he's like, just wait. I'm here for this conversation. I just need to smoke first. And it's like, you don't need to smoke before anything. I just gotta wait for Buddy to get here, and then I'll smoke, and then I'll have my head straight. You know, he just needs to smoke. So he hasn't smoked weed.
Oh, so he hasn't smoked weed in the whole film.
And maybe because like back in the day when I was in my budding weed use years, like we'd be broke as shit. So like me and my roommate Jim would just like smoke the resin in our pipes, you know, just because like we'd be out of weed. So like that could be another thing. Like he has no extra, like the weed's gone. He has nothing to smoke, and he needs it to sort of wake up and exist.
No, I love that. That's great. So this is the first toke of the whole film that he has is right now.
Yeah.
And it's very like, have you ever seen...
The first true toke, because we do, if we want to see the bong or whatever, or him smoking the resin with the...
true toke. Yeah, true toke. There's something about, have you ever seen Guardians where there's this one scene, I think it's the first one, where there's like a big fight happening and Rocket doesn't have his gun, and then they throw it to him in slow motion and he grabs it and the music kind of goes down a bit and he goes... Oh yeah, and then he cocks the gun. So that's him with like gets the saber and thing, lights the spliff, and he goes, and everything goes quiet, and he's like.
Or if it just goes, fuck yeah. Do we do the first F word in Star Wars cinematic universe?
Yeah, there you
go. Get ratted out. Sith show up. One thing though. Hold on. Finally gets high. One thing though. Jedi mind tricks don't work on the Hutt family.
Oh really?
Yeah. Yeah, so he can't Jedi mind trick the Hutt. So maybe we never see a Hutt.
Okay, it's a Hutt's place, but it's like
his
like a
workers.
Hutt underling,
because like it could be a Gamorrean guard, which are like these big pig guys who that's fucking sick. I would love to see a Gamorrean guard have a conversation.
Man, I would lose my shit if I saw a Gamorrean guard. Okay, don't you get started on Gamorrean guards. What is a Gamorrean guard?
They're Jabba's.
I'm gonna Google it.
Look it up. Oh man. Okay.
I've seen this.
There's so much. Like I feel like we got the beats. I have a bunch of... my fucking fan just came on. We're going to have to noise cancel that. We've got the beats. I'm going to riff a bunch of actual Star Wars names, so there'll be some new information in the script. I'm feeling a little bit of pressure right now, but when we turn the mics off, we'll have this universe fully fleshed out.
I believe so.
And for those who like Star Wars, I think it's going to be a fun one. And for those who don't, I think it's going to be a fun one.
Well, for those who don't, maybe they still like stoner comedies. Because
Exactly.
then that way, that's how you're getting me into this. I'd watch this film because I'm like, it's something I do love.
All right.
So there you go.
Sweet. Are we ready to write?
I'd say so. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. And now, the Cloudfire Chronicles, an unsanctioned Star Wars story. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. Exterior space. Yellow text scrolls through a blanket of distant stars. After the fall of Anakin Skywalker and the rise of Darth Vader, the Jedi Order has been all but decimated, and the Galactic Empire scours the outer rim to snuff out the remaining few. Meanwhile, on the desert planet of Tatooine, a lesser-known Jedi, Caelum Cloudfire, is in hiding and has hung up his lightsaber in favor of a bong, lit by his fading spark of rebellion. As Sith Lord Darth V'iruz closes in, Cloudfire slinks deeper into his couch, high on the dankest weed in the galaxy, Yoda Kush. Exterior, in orbit above Tatooine, evening. A Star Destroyer hovers above the desert planet as an Imperial transport floats down to the surface. Exterior, the wastelands of Tatooine. Moments later. Jedi Knight, Kylara Sundar, female, 20s, awaits, lightsaber at the ready. The ramp of the transport opens and a battalion of stormtroopers rush out with a hail of blaster fire. Sundar swiftly deflects the bolts with her lightsaber, knocking down stormtroopers with ease. A shadowy figure, Darth V'iruz, makes his way past the fallen troopers and ignites his blood-red lightsaber. He hurls it towards Sundar with all the fury of the dark side. Sundar stops it with the force, just inches from her face, but she's struggling to keep it at bay.
Strike me down and I shall become more...
With an easy flick of his wrist, Darth V'iruz slices Sundar's head off and she collapses. Darth V'iruz reveals a holo projector and the bust of Emperor Palpatine appears.
The Jedi scum have been purged from Tatooine.
Palpatine scoffs. Not yet. There is another. Find him. The hologram disappears and Darth V'iruz extends his hand. His lightsaber diligently returns. He turns ominously to the distant lights of the Mos Eisley spaceport. Radial wipe 2. Interior, Cloudfire Moisture Farm, meanwhile. The bubbling of a bong can be heard as ex-Jedi Knight, Caelum Cloudfire, male, 30s, lights the resin of his bowl with the beam of a lightsaber. Cloudfire exhales an underwhelming tuft of smoke. He sighs in disappointment. His girlfriend Lena, female 30s, storms out of his bedroom, stuffing random belongings into a leather duffel bag.
What's happening?
Lena kisses her teeth.
I told you I'm done with this.
Right. When exactly?
Lena groans impatiently.
You know, for a guy that can move shit with his mind, you're not very good at using it.
Babe, I've left that life behind to start one with you.
I'm tired of this, Caelum. It's either me or the weed.
Caelum looks down at his bong, then back up at his girlfriend.
Well, technically, I'm out of weed right now, so...
Lena continues to peck.
Forget this.
Lena, come on. Gorm is on his way over. Let me just get my head straight and we can talk about this.
No, I'm done. I've spent too long working a moisture farm alone while my partner sits on his ass smoking weed and playing hollow chess with a bunch of losers.
Listen, everyone I know has been killed, all right? And I just need a bit of break and I'll...
Enough. It's over. I never want to see you again. What the hell is that smell?
Cloudfire sniffs the air.
Oh, shit. My bad.
Cloudfire waves his hand a few times to no avail. He sighs and takes a deep breath, closes his eyes and does it again. A toilet flushes off screen. He turns and offers a charming smile to an incredulous Lena. She flips him the bird, throws her bag over her shoulder, and takes her leave. Cloudfire slumps back on the couch and tries to light up the resin in his bong again. He exhales another pitiful cloud of smoke as a speeder takes off in the distance. Radial wipe 2. Interior, Cloudfire Moisture Farm, later. Cloudfire is passed out on his couch. After a beat, he's awoken by Gwyrm True, his Rhodian drug dealer. Cloudfire sits up with tired, puffy eyes, excited to see him.
Gwyrmy, finally, dude. I've been smoking res all day.
Gwyrmy plops a bedroll backpack onto the couch and begins to pull out various strains of weed from it. Okay, I've got Wookiee's cookies, Jabba's hash, Bespin Keef. Cloudfire stares at him flatly.
Where's the Yoda Kush?
Yeah, there's a problem with that. I was supposed to pick it up today, but the Empire rolled in this morning.
So?
So I'm not risking my life for Yoda Kush. Cloudfire gets up and begins to pace.
So I'm just supposed to stay sober because you're scared of a few stormtroopers.
Word has it there's a Sith here with them. Off Cloudfire's blank stare. Just smoke some of this other stuff. This batch of OG Wan Kenobi is pretty tight.
No, I need my Yoda. Where is your supplier anyway?
Hey, I'm no rat.
You know I could just Jedi mind trick you?
You haven't used the Force in years. Cloudfire raises his hand and closes his eyes, about to speak. Okay, fine. We usually meet at the Mos Eisley Cantina.
Great, I'll go with you to make sure nothing happens.
Gwormtrue scoffs.
It's the only way.
Did I not just tell you there's a Sith Lord running amok? A beat.
I don't know. Did you?
Cloudfire extends his hand to force grab his lightsaber. It takes way more time than it should.
Come on, we'll take your speeder.
I came on foot. Can we take yours?
Lena took it, but I know a guy. Let's do this.
He pushes past Gwyrm and heads for the door. Gwyrm lingers. I've got a bad feeling about this. Bandwipe 2, exterior desert hut, later. Gwyrm and Cloudfire approach a domed hut in the sand. No one is around.
We need to be quiet. Watto Jr.'s had it in for me lately.
I'm sure he won't mind. Gwyrm heads to the door as Cloudfire exits frame. Cut to exterior Watto Jr.'s hut, seconds later. The door opens and there stands Watto Jr., male, Toydarian. Who the fuck are you? I'm friends with Caelum Cloudfire. We were hoping to borrow your speeder. Watto Jr. looks Gwyrm up and down. Filthy Rodian, get off my porch. Just then, a loud engine is heard and Cloudfire zips around the back on a speeder. He snatches Gwyrm and whisks him away. Fuck you, Cloudfire! Iris Wipe 2, interior the Mos Eisley Cantina, later. The Cantina band plays for a crowd of scum and villains of all types. Astute viewers will notice Obi-Wan Kenobi lurking quietly in the background. Gwyrm and Cloudfire walk in and spot the supplier, a Gamorrean guard surrounded by a harem of green-skinned Twi'leks. As they make their way through the crowd, a loud voice echoes from behind them.
Cloudfire, it takes some serious bantha nuts to show your face in here.
Cloudfire whispers to Gwyrm.
Don't turn back, just keep moving forward.
Cloudfire, get back here.
Cloudfire winces as he hears thudding footsteps getting closer and closer. He turns around. It's Nim Chanda, a nasty-looking bothan.
Nim Chanda, is that you? My goodness, it's been ages. Last time I saw you...
You were begging me to stop punching you in the face.
I was feeling charitable that day.
Well, I wasn't. You owe me money.
Cloudfire sighs, then waves his hand.
I don't owe you any money.
Cloudfire smiles and winks at Gwyrm, but Nim Chanda throws him to the ground with a sudden ferocity. Cloudfire reaches for his lightsaber, but it slips out of his hand when Nim grabs him by the collar and lifts him inches off the ground. Cloudfire waves his hand again.
I don't owe you any money.
Nim Chanda laughs.
Ha! You're no Jedi. If you were, you'd be dead.
That's a good point.
With his free hand, Cloudfire uses the Force to summon a beer bottle and smashes it over Nim Chanda's head. He collapses onto the ground. The band stops playing for a moment, and all the attention is on them. After a beat, the music starts again, and everyone returns to their business. Cloudfire clutches his neck tenderly.
Still got it.
The Gamorrean takes notice of Cloudfire's use of the Force and pulls out a communicator, but Caelum is unaware. He brushes off his robes and follows Gwyrm to the Gamorrean supplier.
You're probably not used to hearing this, but your face is the most beautiful thing I've seen all day.
The Gamorrean stares at him bluntly.
Okay, no time for jokes. Do you have the Yoda Kush?
The Gamorrean nods. He takes out a small pouch of dank buds. Cloudfire's eyes light up. He's practically drooling. But before Cloudfire can take the package, the Gamorrean grabs him with one hand and trains a blaster on him with the other.
Oh, come on!
The Gamorrean laughs.
Really? That wasn't even a joke.
The Gamorrean speaks in a gruff but squeaky voice.
You've got a lot of nerve showing your face in here, Jedi.
Cloudfire smiles coyly, trying his charm.
Save it. You scum. The Empire's been alerted.
Okay, you've got me, but since it makes no difference to you, a joint would really help me out.
How about you sit right there and wait like a good little Jedi?
Cloudfire closes his eyes and inhales deeply. He opens them and stares into the Gamorrean's eyes.
You will put down your blaster and hand me the Yoda Kush.
The Gamorrean blinks twice, and after a short beat, does as he's told. Cloudfire grabs the weed, and he and Gwyrm get on the move. You've really done it this time, Caelum. Cloudfire slips into a booth. What are you doing?
I just need a sec.
Cloudfire pulls out some papers and begins breaking up that sweet Yoda Kush.
Well, if the Empire's already headed here, I might as well be ready for them.
Cut 2, exterior, the Mos Eisley Cantina. Meanwhile, a horde of stormtroopers rush the cantina. Cut 2. Interior, the Mos Eisley Cantina, continuous. The troopers and Darth V'iruz walk slowly over to the table. Cloudfire doesn't look up.
Say goodnight, Jed.
Cloudfire holds up his free finger as he licks the paper and seals off the joint. He gets to his feet with the unlit doobie hanging from his lips.
Prepare to die.
Darth V'iruz pulls out his lightsaber and it hums to life. Cloudfire reveals his own lightsaber, but uses it to ignite his joint. He takes a deep inhale and holds it. Then, through an ecstatic cloud of smoke, he speaks.
All right, let's do this. Finn!
In conclusion.
Okay.
Jono got to live out his dream.
That was fucking sick. I love that so much. This is my favorite episode so far.
There were so many moments where I was trying to hold back my laughter because I'd be like clarifying with you, being like, so like these characters in this lore, can they do this? Can they not do this? Like I had to like kind of tiptoe around making sure I got like all the facts right.
Yeah, and I'm not going to claim to be perfect because I did have to Google like a lot of the species and like the aliens and stuff like that and make sure we're like attributing the right characteristics to them. That was just
good. It's good that we did that though, because that's like we try to keep it as real as possible.
Yeah. And like Adeel went through and sort of like did the whole overarching beats and like made the narrative of a stoner comedy, and then I went in and just kind of painted it with Star Wars stuff. That was kind of like cleaned it up and made the lines a little cheesier, you know.
I'm actually really happy with that. I'll be honest, I wasn't as psyched as you were going into it because I was like, I don't know what the fuck this is gonna be, but then like reading it back, especially too, it's like it's a really good.
Oh man, it's
a great comeback episode.
I feel like it's a great way to dive back into the new and improved No Rewrites podcast.
All right.
Sick.
What do we do for recap? Okay, what did you like first?
What did I like?
Well, I mean,
Star Wars stoner comedy.
The prompt itself.
The prompt
is
itself,
the best part of the
like,
whole thing.
And just dropping that little nuke in there and it coming out. Like I figured we were gonna do like a dramedy or something, but man, definitely feels good to have done that because I've been thinking about that prompt for a while. And
oh really?
Yeah, it's been in my loop. Like, oh, I want to throw that in, and today we did it.
And you think we did justice to it?
Oh, we did more than justice to it. Like, I want to make that.
We did just into it.
We did just into it.
Yeah, that's for me. So not to repeat the prompt. So my thing, I'll be like, what's my favorite, like I guess, moment in the script? And I said it before too when we were finishing it up. It's like the fact that in a Star Wars world. In a Star Wars world, that's like a tongue twister. The last scene you see is a guy lighting his joint with a saber and being like, basically like, bring it on with this fucking joint in his mouth. Yeah. That's so badass.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's
and like
such a cool like moment.
We did kind of avoid the cliche lightsaber battle thing, but like we have that with that opening scene.
Yeah,
when he's killing that other Jedi, and then just kind of like hinting onto this thing because it's a short film, right? Like you can't really. And it's probably one of the longer ones you've ever written, so we didn't want to keep it too much.
Yeah, no, I think I personally, I kind of enjoy this more because you have your action moments already with the bike stealing and the opening intro, and even here with the little beer bottle across the ending. I mean, the beer bottle across the head. But I don't think you need that ending. But of course, if you get the budget and you get to make it all out, then why the fuck not?
Yeah. I think there is a universe where. A universe far, far away where that could be made into a pretty cool little movie, or like you know how Marvel does that series What If, and it's like an animated series of like alternate realities. Like
this would fit really well.
Yeah, that would be the Star Wars version of that for sure.
Yeah. What did you not like?
I feel like the only thing I didn't like was my Gamorrean guard impression. I wish I could be more pig-like in my voice. I just. I couldn't do it out. I lost that.
So what you didn't like was more of a personal, like for the radio drama voice.
Yeah. But other than that, like, fuck.
I don't know what I didn't like.
Also, to go back to what I liked that we used a couple F-bombs and some S-bombs
in a Star Wars film. I've only seen 2 of them, so they never do that, eh?
Yeah, no, they're like basic. I think they're maybe PG or maybe even G because like there's no blood or anything. So yeah,
interesting. Even Mandalorian, it's like very like PG or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, interesting. Yeah. Apparently they're making a movie on with Mandalorian.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. They're really pumping that franchise.
I think it did way better than they expected.
I
think it blew up, and they're like, "Fuck it, let's milk this."
Well, they love it, and people love it because like the Book of Boba Fett series like basically turned into the Mandalorian. Like the series started out cool, and then it got really dumb, and then they're like, "Let's just make it the Mandalorian."
Yeah, fair. I don't know that. So the Book of Boba Fett was first.
No, Mandalorian was first. Then Book of Boba Fett came out, and then they were just like, "Fuck it, we're just gonna write Mando in there."
That's pretty cool.
We need more Baby Yoda. Oh, we didn't put a droid in. We didn't do a droid.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
We were considering the dealer being maybe a droid, but then we were like, no, it should be
We
someone that
should have a
lives with
droid
him.
companion. Yeah. Shit. Okay. Well, we missed that, but
That'd been cool.
he should have had a droid. Like Doobie 88. R2B Doobie.
That's pretty perfect. The only thing I think I didn't like was the fact that I didn't like. Now I kind of wish I did watch them, so I'm kind of excited to go. And I think, is it weird if I start with the new one?
I say let your freak flag fly, baby.
Oh man, I might watch 7, 8, 9 then first. Cast.
Cast. Man, I don't know. I was actually gonna put some thought into that, but like I didn't. But what about like if fucking Andy Samberg played the Cloudfire?
Dude, that's so good. I'd watch that.
That would be pretty fun.
Because I was like, who's in that Chris Pratt world? Like, you know, like that kind of thing. But Chris Pratt's too old now to play. But yeah, Andy Samberg's I think pretty fucking perfect.
Yeah, because he's like older, but
he could play like early 30s.
He could
like,
young down, or like like one of those Lonely Island guys.
No, dude, Samberg is actually that's fucking perfect. Yeah, yeah. And then you build a film around that.
Yeah,
you build other roles around it. Yeah, no, this was a fun one. As like a script on its own, like I didn't know if we'd get through it, but I'm pretty fucking proud of this one.
Oh man, this is sick.
That's some good shit.
It's gonna be sick to drop this.
Yeah, maybe one day we'll have the budget. If J.J. Abrams, hey man, Jay, if you're listening to this, hey buddy,
no rewrites. X Bad Robot. Let's do it.
Damn, yeah.
Yeah.
X for Blue Sky, because maybe we'll still use it for something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got to burn all our Blue Sky podcast merch now.
Yeah.
All the T-shirts we made. All the
made
business
so
cards.
many mugs, man. They're all just going to a landfill.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be. Yeah. But yeah, I guess is that it for us today then?
I guess that's it for us.
All right. Well, that's our welcome back episode. Thanks for listening to the No Rewrites podcast.
The No Rewrites podcast, and email us. No one's emailed us on the old email, but now it's dead. So
you can still use that email. It'll get forwarded to us.
We'll forward it.
But the new one is, what's the new one again?
No Rewrites podcast at gmail.com.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Email us.
All right. Love ya.
Pieces. Star Wars reference.
Star Wars noises.
No Rewrites is produced by Adeel Shamsi and Jono Hunter. Edited by Justin Stevenson. Sound designed by Aaron Herastovic. Some additional voices recorded by Katie Trudeau. And the stuff in between segments was recorded by Kevin Brown. If you have an idea for a prompt, email us at norewritespod@gmail.com or DM us at No Rewrites Podcast on Instagram. No Rewrites is an independent show, so please make sure to like and subscribe. And tell your friends. Thanks.